Watching the Jersey City Show, hit me up on Twitter, JC Hudson Media, and of course the websites patshows.com with 3 S's, and don't forget the rest of them, countyatlarge.com and shoreshow.com. You can enjoy all our wonderful productions, but you can go to Twitter, JC Hudson Media. Follow me. Why? I don't know, but follow me anyway. It's been 100+ days of the new administration of Mayor Fulop, and what have we accomplished? Well, tell you what, it wasn't a lot coming out. You know, Steve says he hit the ground running. I beg to differ. We hit the ground. I don't want to say we're running here. Let's look at 100 days, the big movements that we've done here in Jersey City under the Fulop administration. Of course, it's merges and dissolving, and I'm going to call it chaos, because we're doing these things, yet we don't have direction or detail or how all these changes are going to work. We have the chaos. We just don't have the changes. What we have is, you know, you got the JCPD merged up under the guidance of James Shea with the FD Jersey City, the Fire Department of Police. We basically gutted the JCIA by transferring most of the responsibilities to DPW, but that hasn't happened yet, because they don't really want to do that until after the Jersey Super Bowl. Yeah, you don't want the new regime down there at DPW worrying about plowing our streets because the Super Bowl teams are staying in Jersey City. So you're not going to see any movement on that. But yet all the personnel at JCIA are like, what's going to happen to us? And you know what? That's a good question, because nobody's told them anything yet. And of course, you got the JC Parking Authority. They're doing an investigation, or an analysis, I should say, into the need for the Jersey City Parking Authority. Yes, we have a need for the Parking Authority. It's almost a retail operation. The problem with City Hall is they don't understand the Parking Authority, what really needs to be done. I would try to let Mary Spinello, or Peretti, which name you want to go by, give her a year or so to get the Parking Authority running the way that she sees it. Now, our hands were tied. Believe me, the Healy administration tied our hands. You got the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency. They're in chaos. The incinerator's in chaos. The Jersey City Parking Authority, chaos. The police and fire, they're still looking for these directions. How are these mergers affecting them? How do you think the personnel feels with all this turmoil going on, all this confusion, all these questions going on, and dissolving and merging and all these things are happening? How do you feel when you go to work, when you don't know if you're going to be working there? And the other thing is, again, how are we saving on this? The merger, and you can't even say it's a merger with JCIA and DPW anymore. We just gutted that. And supposedly we're saving $800,000 a year. And the Healy, if they merger, was $10 million. And there was a study that did that. But how are we going to save? How are these savings going to be appreciated? How are we going to do it? What is the mechanisms that are causing these savings that Mayor Fulop keeps spouting? We're going to save money, we'll be more efficient, saving money, more efficient. How? It's been 3+ months, over 100 days. Tell us how this is going to occur. What are the steps that are going to occur? We don't have those details. We're detailless. All we hear is we're going to save money, we're saving the taxpayers, we're saving the residents of Jersey City, we're going to be more efficient. How? You got the fire department and the PD, the police department, under the guidance of James Shea. They're all under public safety. How are we saving money there? Nobody said how we're going to do it. We keep hearing we're going to save it. Nobody said how. Is it going to be layoffs? Are we laying off cops, fire? Are there going to be cutbacks? Are there going to be demotions? Are we cutting back on the benefits? How? We keep doing all this. We're throwing everything up in the air. We're making these changes. We're not seeing anything through yet, but we're making these changes. How? Give us the details. Tell us how this is working. Give us the organizational charts. Show us who's doing what and how we're saving. I don't see that. We've had a lot of hires. You know, God knows Fulop's hired a lot of people. I haven't heard a lot of people leaving, but he's certainly hiring a lot. We just had Jim McGreevy. If you go to Earl Morgan, I think by now Earl Morgan's interview with Jim McGreevy should be up. I'm sure it's up with Sandy, I guess, by now. If not, they'll be up there soon. We took on the prisoner reentry program, a program that was run by the county of Hudson. Now we're running it for some reason. Where are the details? The devil's in the details. We need to see the devil. How are we saving the money? We never get these. We're not getting these answers. And when pressed, people just seem to get upset when we press for these details. The time is now to show us how you're saving this, how this is going to be efficient. Why are we putting city employees? And listen, I was talking to one of the people from the transition team about the Jersey City Parking Authority. Oh, you got big salaries. Really there aren't a lot of big salaries at the Parking Authority. Could you knock off 2 or 3 of them? Sure. But the PEOs, parking enforcement officers, they're making like 30, 35 a year. When that transition person was there, and we're standing in the parking authority, you're going to get rid of this person? You're going to cut back on that person? Who are you cutting back? All right, we knock out the 2 salaries the guy mentioned. Now what? What are the other changes you're going to bring? And we got to cut expenses. Fine, tell me how you're doing it. You cut out those 2 salaries, if that happened. What else are you going to do? How are we going to remake the Jersey City Parking Authority? I used to be their PR guy back in 2002, I think. I would go to the block associations. I represented the evil empire, I would call it. I would go there and people would complain for the first 10, 15 minutes about tickets they received or what have you. Then after that, the rest of the night, they wanted more enforcement. They want more enforcement. The parking authority, and they're talking about the parking authority being in debt for $20 million. No, that's not a debt. That's a credit. They're owed $20 million. These are outstanding tickets. Now, what happens, because the parking authority is not allowed to hire a prosecutor, is you go to court to fight your ticket, bink, you win because there's nobody there from the parking authority to fight it. That's not a debt. That's a credit. That's money that's owed. The parking authority gets on average about $8 a ticket. So when you're paying a $40 ticket or a $54 ticket, which seems to be the only 2 numbers I ever seem to get, parking authority gets $8. The city gets the rest. That's the city's ATM machine. So screwing around with that isn't helping the city. But the more I look at how the city is operating right now, it seems we fix a lot of things that aren't broken. In my opinion, we have the best police department in the state, possibly in the country. They got a high 90% solve rate. Fire department, the guys are damn good. The Jersey City Incinerator Authority, of all the autonomous agencies, you probably have to tip your cap to Orrin Dabney and his group, because they were Johnny on the spot with a complaint to the public. The public can't even talk to directors anymore. We, the media, have a hard time talking to directors. We have to do it on a QT. That's not the way I ever operated. But everything's in a gag order here. We're upsetting and fixing departments that don't need to be fixed. Did the redevelopment agency need to be repaired? Yeah, I think so. Because of the failure of Journal Square and the failure of the hub. And we're going to have to look at the failure of some of the compliance on these abatements. But really, all the changes that have been put forward, can you give us the details? Can you tell us how this is saving us the money? We keep hearing savings, efficiency, savings. It's good for the taxpayers of Jersey City. It's good for the residents of Jersey City. Please show us how it's good for the residents of Jersey City. Put it down dollars and cents. Show us how this is going to make our lives better, and it's going to reduce the property taxes on the residents of Jersey City and the property owners. That's all we're asking. Show us the game plan. You've taken actions. Show us what the end game to this is going to be. What is the end result of all these actions? All I know is we got a bunch of city employees on end because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because we're waiting for this merger and this dissolve and this ordinance to go through. We don't know who the director is going to be. Not the way you want to go to work every day, and it doesn't need to be. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. We'll be right back.